ability to play catch instead of playing tennis or ping pong, right? Because if I'm playing catch, you throw me something, I have to catch what you said before I have the right to throw it back to you. But if we're playing ping pong, I'm just whacking something back, right? You say this, then I say that, and we're just whacking ideas at each other. But nobody's catching what the other person is saying. Yeah, great. So what we're doing is, you have to find a way to say what you want to say that other people can get it, that they can catch it. So if it's comparing it to sports, or catch, or ping pong, or politics, or being hangry, or whatever your thing is, our job as the professionals helping people is to put it in a way that they can get it. If I got to keep shrinking my sentences, if I got to repeat it, if I got to ask them what made sense, if I got to compare it to something, we are the teachers. Like, we're the passers. And when we're working with people, we got to find a way to do it so they can get it from us. I talked over your raised hand. Sorry.
I just had another conflict
Yeah.
that I see it happen across our residential campus. So we have the teams that are essentially co-parenting these children in our residential campus, and there can be some conflict and disagreement as it pertains to like discipline or consequences for the kids, or I don't really like the way that you handle that with that kiddo. I feel like you could have done it differently. I think that creates some conflict amongst teammates.
Right, like how to have two good ideas that aren't the same.
Exactly.
Right, from two smart people who both work with people and want to help them, and they have different ideas of smart. Because most of your conflicts are not going to be, I'm right, you're evil. I mean, they're not. Like, the other person is probably smart or good or has a decent idea or has a perspective, or right? It's not that one person is totally right and one person is completely wrong, because that's not really an argument then, right? Then you're just helping somebody not be wrong. Most arguments are, we both think we're right, and we both probably are a little bit. Pardon?
I didn't mean to
No, go ahead. No.
What do you do with someone who thinks that their idea is the only good idea?
Yeah.
I think we have that a lot, especially with our kids, and like, you know, if you're looking at them through all these different lenses, and I feel that that's something that our team, like that could be a struggle almost on a nightly basis when you're processing how things went through the day.
And they have the one thing that will work.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or you should have done this.
Yeah, I want to hit that a couple of different times as we get through the morning, but I don't have a fast, easy answer for that one. Right? One more, and then we're going to start cranking slides.
Kind of the flip side maybe of that is dealing with people who you know are lying to you.
Without just saying, like, I think you're lying to me?
Especially kids.
Especially kids. I think you're lying to me. So, let me ask for a scoop of grace. So I've been at Pine Rest now for 10 years. I manage our office in Granville, and I have a tiny practice, 10, 15 people a week. And then mostly I'm managing staff. And then before my 10 years at Pine Rest, I did 12 years at Wedgwood, and I was a therapist there and did residential treatment at Wedgwood for 12, and did the activity therapy and went back to school. And then I was a therapist in the Zondervan home for 4 or 5 years, and then kind of left. And so I've lived in talkie land, where I sip coffee at work for a while now. But I have enough, I have 12 years of memories, and we can do stories if you want. Sometimes I can say things like, it's the only way to do it. But that's just because I believe in my idea, but I want to be gracious with, you can really disagree with me. But I really believe, especially with kids in placement, I'm a real big believer in, even if it's messier, just telling kids truth right away. I don't like the thing about don't tell Tim that he has a home visit until Friday because he's going to be bad all week because he's nervous about his home visit. Because I think then you're teaching Tim that he can't handle his home visit. So let's just tell him right away, and let's get good at doing this, right? Or if a kid lies, then I think you're lying to me. Or if you, because it'll go a little bit worse then. I'm willing to admit that. But in the long run, you become the truth teller. And you become the person who they know will tell it straight with them. And I'm willing to go through a couple of weird things to get that, because that is gold to me. So I don't mean to think that it goes easy. I'm picking the harder way earlier so I can get better stuff later. But I admit that it goes bad. But I would much rather just tell kids stuff right away. Because I'm assuming they can handle it. If I start manipulating information flow, without telling them that, I'm saying, you can't handle this because you need me to manipulate the information, right? And that sneaks in, right? Like just like if you tell someone how to do something, what you're also saying is, and I don't think you can do it, right? That comes in with it. So that's a huge can of worms that I'm gonna dodge right now. But I really do believe in telling kids, even kids where it does not go well, I believe in telling those kids the truth right away so they can get better at hearing that. Now, the truth in love, like not just mean truth, right? But, yeah, anyway, we can come back to that if you want. We were ahead of this, now we'll come back to it. 93% is not what you're saying. So 38 plus 55 is 93. There's body language, tone, and then the words are 7. So I do not have a ton of slides where I go into my old man mode about modern technology, except to say this. When you are texting, you are sending someone 7% of what you mean. You can add some emojis and emoticons and bold caps, and maybe you can bump it up to 15% of what you mean, but that's not what you mean. Right? I think the last time I was here, I told a story where this husband and wife got into a misunderstanding, a communication problem, because she signed them up for a retreat. So she texted him, I signed us up for this retreat, here are the dates. He was booked on that date. He was on a service project or something. So he texted back, can it be any sooner? Because he's meaning, I can't go. But he didn't say that. He said, can it be any sooner? She read his text, oh, you're amazing, and text back to him, I love you so much, thank you for being so excited about going. So now he's thinking, I can't text back to you and say like, no, I'm not excited at all, I can't go. Because when he said, can it be any sooner, she took it as, I can't wait to go, right? It's 7% of what he meant. If that's texting, I mean, that happens in email at work, or memos, or stuff people hang on the wall, or notes you leave on the counter for your family. The word is only about 7 to 10% of what you mean. Body language, we did some of that, right? This thing, that is a lot. Tone is stuff like, I didn't say you were stupid. 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 Right? I can change that sentence a lot of different ways just by moving what word I'm emphasizing. If I texted or wrote down, I didn't say you were stupid, you would not know what I meant all the way, right? So just know this. This doesn't mean that we can never email, never text, never leave notes. It does not mean that. But it does mean that when you do those things, be prepared for potential misunderstandings. And when you're talking in person, be ready for people to take things from your body language and tone more than what you thought you were sending, right? Especially with kids who've been through trauma. They can read you like a book. You ever come into work and one of them says, "Are you having a bad day?" And you really are, but you don't want them to know, and you thought you put your game face on in the parking lot, and then they see you and they're like, "You're having a bad day," and they nailed it, right? That's because they are experts at body language and tone, and they can like smell it on you, and they can tell when it's bad. That proves the point, right? That body language and tone are so important when you're communicating. I'm willing to bet, let me give one more like housekeeping thing, because 9:30, everybody starts to think, I wonder if we get a break at 9:50 or 10. So I was talking to Nina, mom and dad made a rule together. Because it's just 2 hours, if we take a break, we'll never get, like 10 minutes is really 13 and a half, right? Like it's super hard to get people back. So if you have to do something, like take a call or go to the bathroom, I'm gonna assume that everybody's a grown up and we'll just go do that. And we'll just kind of move through till 11. And I promise a lot of, like, turn to people at your table, let's play a game, let's try an activity. Like, we'll do some stuff, so those will feel like breaks. We're not gonna do a hard sit for 2 hours. But we probably won't take a big giant break. I bet everybody in here is a little different from everybody else. Right? You got early bird, night owl, spenders, savers, right? Task focused, workaholics, super spontaneous, free spirits. I bet we have different people in here. And because you're different, you communicate different and you solve conflict differently. So we're going to do a, it all depends on what you see contest. If you were here at one of my other trainings and you already know this, shh. Okay, don't spoil it. So we're going to play a game. I want you to play a game. You can take notes. You can write hash marks on your paper. That's fine. We'll play a game and we'll see how you do.
Today we're going to play a game specifically designed to test your spatial awareness. Meet the Brain Games Double Dutch team. Double Dutch requires off-the-chart spatial awareness. Today, these kids are going to help us test it. For this game, all you have to do is keep track of the number of times that either of the girls in green jumps. You'll count each time one of them lands a jump, like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As you can see, these jumpers are pretty quick on their feet, so you're going to have to pay attention to keep up. When the whistle blows, start counting. Ready? Go. So, how many jumps did the green team make? Did you say 38? If so, you agreed with 40% of our test audience. Now, for those of you who aren't, did you happen to notice anything else going on during the double dutch? Maybe a giant chicken strolling right through the middle of the set and doing a funky chicken dance? Now, some of you may have missed that funky chicken, but many of you probably saw it. And that's okay, because the chicken was just there to distract you too. Here's the real question. What color was the wall behind the double dutch game? Here's a hint. It wasn't the same color at the end as it was when they started jumping. The back wall was changing color the entire time, from bright blue to bright red. Nearly everyone missed it. But why? It turns out there's far too much information coming in through the eyes at any given moment pay attention to, we don't see. And for those of you who managed to catch everything so far, did you notice that we also swapped the rope turners out halfway through? Gotcha.
So how'd you do? Anybody see the chicken?
Yep.
Those who know to look for the chicken? Anybody see the wall?
Yep.
Nice. Anybody see the rope turners change? And it's not like a, all it's meant to show is whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find it. And whatever you're not looking for, you're gonna miss it. So if I have somebody who's annoying me, and I have like a clipboard of the stuff they do that bothers me clipboard, I'm gonna find some stuff. But I'm not tracking the nice things that they're doing for me. So I might miss the nice things. But if I have the nice things clipboard, I can find them, right? When we're talking and arguing, like communication and conflict, just like the woman in the front was talking about, sometimes people will hear a word or they'll hear a conflict and then they get distracted by that and they're not hearing the other things that you're saying. Most of us, so you can do both. You can listen to things about people and things about tasks. But most of us have a favorite, right? So she was like the head of my office staff. She just resigned last week. So she and I were debriefing on her last day. She's going back to school, gonna do an internship. It didn't fit with the work schedule, so she went to go do her internship. Like, okay. So we're talking about her last day, and she and I are debriefing. This is me. So I said, how are your staff doing? Like, how's it going? Like, are they mad at you that you're quitting? Are they annoyed? Are they sad? How are your staff? And she said, I think we've done a really good job of kind of like, they have lists, and Brittany's gonna handle the deposit, and Cindy's gonna do the order from OfficeMax, and I think they all kind of know the different things that need to get done. And then I said, no, I don't care about who's calling Office Depot. Are they crying, or are they sad? Like, are they mad? Are they okay? Are they stressed out? And she looked at me like I was talking Greek. And she said, but, So I think that we figured out, and she went right back to it. So I think that we figured out who's gonna do the right stuff, and I think they'll be okay. And she went right back to telling me about job duties. And the only thing they could be mad about or sad about was who's gonna do the thing. That was one reason why it was a little hard for she and I to work together. But it was really pronounced, especially on a last day under stress, right? She's leaving, so she's stressed. I'm getting ready to not have help, so I'm stressed. And we both went to like our favorite things to talk about. Like therapist at heart. Like I manage an office, but I like talking to people. So I want to talk about that. When I'm under stress, I want to talk about people. When she's under stress, she wants to know who's going to do the stuff. I don't think that I'm better than her. She's got a really good point. I don't care how annoying the person is next to you. If you're digging a ditch together, I don't care how annoying they are. It sucks to dig alone, right? And it's good to have somebody else with a shovel. She's got a point. I think it's really important to know how people are doing. I think I have a point. The point for you all is I was missing it because she didn't care about what I wanted to talk about. She